First tonight, a Newcastle man who had anorexia says it's shocking that an inpatient unit for adults with eating disorders will close this summer.
The ward at the RVI in Newcastle was shut in July because the hospital wants to expand its urgent care facilities.
The Mental Health Trust that runs it says it will increase its community and day services while it looks at working on a long-term plan. There's concern, though, that doesn't go far enough. Katie Cole reports.
Talking to Tom Robert from Newcastle about the time he spent in hospital on an eating disorder ward, it's clear the difference it made. He had anorexia and in 2019 was an inpatient for 6 months.
Yeah, it definitely saved me life. It definitely helped us kind of get out of the situation I was in. You know, it doesn't fix the whole situation. It's not a magical wand, but it does definitely get you out of that really dark period and dangerous part of your life where things can spiral very quickly.
But the service that helped Tom is about to change. From the end of July, the 5-bed ward at the RVI in Newcastle is closing because the hospital needs to expand its emergency and urgent care facilities. The closure means the only other inpatient ward of this kind in our region will be at West Park Hospital in Darlington. And there's concern that'll mean many patients won't be close to home.
Things like friends, friends, families can't get to see them, essentially, and they could be in there for a long period of time. You're not just talking a couple of weeks, you're talking months.
Tom's not the only one worried, especially at a time when demand for eating disorder services is on the rise.
I think it's going to cause a lot of uncertainty for patients who are currently there and wondering what the next steps of their treatment are going to look like, changing clinical teams, changing area, the added stress of potential travel to families. It also adds a level of uncertainty to those waiting to hear if they're being accepted into the unit.
The ward at the RVI is run by a mental health trust, which is now considering a long-term plan for its eating disorder services. In a statement, it told us, our interim proposal includes the provision of a 7-day intensive day service, IDS, enhancing the IDS at home model and supporting community treatment teams. This will allow us to increase community support in line with the NHS 10-year plan. Tom welcomes this, but says not to reopen the inpatient ward would be shocking.
The inpatient's still needed. You know, that support when you're you could be teetering on the, life or death essentially, then, you can't be sitting and lying in your own bed because, the pressure that your family would have just is unthinkable.
Health bosses say they'll consult with patients, carers and staff over the coming months. Tom only hopes their future plans include the service that saved his life. Katie Cole, ITV News, Newcastle.
And we'll be exploring more of the issues of eating disorders over the rest of the week. Tomorrow, we'll be hearing from Miles Astery, a star of the TV show Traitors, who talks about his own struggles and the importance of men getting the right support.
A teenager accused of killing a 40-year-old woman after an alleged altercation at a North Shields bar has denied her manslaughter.
Liam Moore appeared before Newcastle Crown Court, charged in connection with the death of Lisa Denton. Our correspondent Greg Eastill was in court.
Seen here in a blue shirt arriving at court this morning, this is 19-year-old Liam Moore, now set to stand trial over the death of Lisa Denton. She was found with a serious head injury by emergency services after they were called on a Saturday night last January to the location of Charlie's Bar in Russell Street in North Shields. Described by her family as warm, genuine, full of life, and with a way of making people feel seen and welcomed, the 40-year-old was taken to hospital but died there the following day. Today, her alleged teenage killer formally entered his plea to the single charge he faces. This morning's hearing lasted just a few minutes. Moore spoke twice, firstly to confirm his name, and then when asked how he pleaded to a charge of the manslaughter of Lisa Denton, he replied, "Not guilty." Moore left courts a short time later, released on bail. He's next due to appear before a judge in May, ahead of a trial scheduled for September the 14th. Greg Eastill, ITV News, Newcastle.
The The former Member of Parliament for Hartlepool, Peter Mandelson, has been released on bail.
He was arrested yesterday on suspicion of misconduct in public office. A warning, there will be some flashing images shortly. Our political correspondent Tom Sheldrick is live at Westminster for us tonight. Tom.
Peter Mandelson is accused of passing highly sensitive government information to the paedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein during the time when he was the business secretary. Lord Mandelson was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office and taken to a police station for interview yesterday evening. He was then released on bail pending further investigation. He returned home at around 2 a.m. this morning. He has previously denied any wrongdoing. This evening, his representatives have released a statement saying that he was arrested despite an agreement he would attend an interview on a voluntary basis next month. Prompted, it was, they say, by a suggestion he was planning to leave the country, which is absolutely untrue. They say his priority is to cooperate with the investigation and clear his name. This is, although, a further embarrassment for the government after Sir Keir Starmer appointed Lord Mandelson as the UK's ambassador to the United States before sacking him last autumn.
Peter Mandelson did not disclose everything that had been going on prior to his appointment. These, of course, date back to events that took place, including around 2009, so a very, very long time ago, before the Prime Minister was even a Member of Parliament, a long time before this government had taken up office. But it is troubling. What we see in those emails is deeply troubling. But because there is now a live police investigation, I want the police to be able to do their work.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former Duke of York, is also being investigated for potential misconduct in public office. Today in Parliament, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, Sir Ed Davey, referred to reports that Peter Mandelson, who was the MP for Hartlepool at the time, pushed for the former Prince Andrew's appointment as a UK trade envoy in 2001. The government have agreed to release files relating to that appointment.
Tom in Westminster for us this evening. Thank you very much for the latest there.
Today marks the 4th anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Thousands of Ukrainians fleeing the war have found refuge in the UK, including here in the northeast. The support being shown to mark today's anniversary includes the illumination of landmarks across Sunderland in the blue and yellow colours of the Ukrainian flag.
Yes, this is the scene at Pension Monument. Other locations being lit up this evening include the Northern Spire Bridge, Keele Square, Fulwell Mill and Hilton Castle. You're watching ITV News. Tyne still to come on tonight's programme.
Curling competition. We meet the wheelchair curlers from Newcastle who are set to make history at the 2026 Winter Paralympics.
The Sunderland school children inspired by the stars of the Matilda musical, which is now showing on Wearside.
And blustery winds from the south still dragging out that mild air. It's with us through the next few days, but cooler conditions are on the way. I'll have more in your forecast later.
Now, you may have heard of the Ask for Angela campaign, a discreet way to ask for help in a bar or club if you are feeling unsafe. Now, a new similar campaign aims to tackle discrimination in nightlife. The latest Home Office figures show that 140,000 hate crimes were reported last year.
The Ask for Clive charity has joined forces with the Nighttime Industries Association to train staff and offer welcoming spaces for anyone who feels threatened or unsafe while on a night out. Catherine Walker has this report.
These days, Clive prefers a cuppa to a night on the town, but he still spends plenty of time in clubs working to make them safer. His mission is to protect others from the hate he's experienced.
I remember walking down a particular street, holding hands with my then boyfriend, and where it was, you would have thought it would have been a safer place to hold hands. It turned out it wasn't, and we were attacked by 3 blokes, and they've got some bruises, etc. You feel stripped of your humanity.
He's the inspiration behind Ask for Clive, a campaign to tackle all discrimination in nightlife. With the latest Home Office figures showing almost 140,000 reports of hate crime last year, Clive is keen to get more venues to sign up.
Yes, we're identifying LGBT venues and venues that are LGBT friendly, but what we stand for is complete inclusion and no tolerance of hate, no matter whether it's because you're a member of the LGBT community, race, faith, it doesn't matter.
Again, it's how to deal with that, and how to deal with that in a calm and measured approach.
Registered venues receive the sticker and ongoing training funded by voluntary donations. The goal is to spot harassment early and stop it before it escalates.
The assessment isn't just once a year, and the activities like training, etc., shouldn't be once a year. It's something that is lived and active 365 days a year. This is not a sticker that we deliver out lightly. There is a movement behind this sticker. It isn't just about a tick box action. It is about what we can do to change that culture shift.
Despite what the name suggests, there's actually no asking involved in the Ask for Clive campaign. If you see the sticker, you simply know the venue has pledged to be a safer space.
So far, more than 3,000 businesses have signed up, including the Three Stories pub in Peterlee.
The more venues that's involved, it'll help create consistency and awareness, safer environments, and more people will feel more comfortable coming out and being aware that there's someone out there that they can speak to.
A small sticker carrying a big message, hopefully making nights out safer for everyone. Catherine Walker, ITV News.
And the ITV News continues after us at 6:30, followed by the Martin Lewis Money Show live.
Tomorrow we're going to hear what the new April energy price cap is set at. This is likely to be the biggest change we've seen in energy bills for the last few years, and prices are due to come down. Not just variable prices, but the rate of the fixes that you're on are going to drop too. It's a total change in the energy game. So I'll be here tonight to talk you through what you need to know to maximise every penny in your pocket and keep it out of the energy companies. See you at 7:15.
It's a big night of football across the North East. We've got the Champions League playoffs and the Championship promotion race.
In a moment, we'll join Simon at the Riverside, where Middlesbrough are preparing to take on Leicester City. But let's start at St James's Park, where Newcastle United have already pretty much got the job done in the Champions League playoffs against Karabakh from Azerbaijan. Tom Johnston is there for us tonight. Tom.
Yes, Ian, it's Operation See This One Over the Line here on Tyneside. Newcastle had far too much for Karabakh in the away leg of this playoff fixture, and here under the lights at St James's Park tonight, you'd have to expect they're going to serve up more of the same. It finished 6-1 in Baku, and barring the nasty surprise to end all nasty surprises, they will book their place in the last 16 of the Champions League. Now that will be new ground for the Magpies, so those in black and white can surely dare to dream now.
I think then when you're at that point of the competition, I think anything can happen. And we back ourselves sort of in cup ties, one-off games. I think that seems to have brought out the best of the squad this year. We seem to be able to raise our game when we need it, and certainly this competition is going to bring out that side of it the further we go into it.
The last four seasons, we've been reaching new heights in different ways, and this is another milestone which we can achieve. And if we can do that, we'll be super buzzed about it.
Yes, it's a case of tying up loose ends for Newcastle tonight, but even at 6-1 up, Eddie Howe will be telling his players there's no room for complacency. But Newcastle will progress to the round of 16, and when they get there, they'll face either Chelsea or Barcelona. We'll find out exactly who they'll be facing when the knockout draw takes place on Friday morning.
Okay, Thomas and James's Park this evening, thank you very much indeed. Let's head now for Teesside and Middlesbrough. They're holding steady in the more automatic promotion places in the Championship at the moment. Tonight they're at home to Leicester. Simon's there for us. Simon.
Good evening. 13 games to go. Now, no doubt that will be unlucky for some, but here at Middlesbrough they have been making their own luck this season, and they are where they need to be as we prepare to enter the home stretch. Now, the last week hasn't actually been great, with defeat at the leaders Coventry, followed by a frustrating goalless draw against Oxford here on Saturday. But Borough are second and automatic promotion is in their hands. At their best under Kim Helberg, they have looked electric and they need to dial up that form for the rest of the season, starting tonight against Leicester City. They are working hard to do just that.
13 games left and they will be brilliant. We will be doing everything we can to win as many games as possible. That I can assure. That's the thing we can promise. We're doing everything we can to win the games. I promise you that. And I'm working every minute to try to help them as much as possible to do that. That's what I can promise. Then the results and the games, they live their own life.
Let's talk about Borough's opponents, Leicester City, because the team coach has just arrived and because it's a story of how the mighty have fallen. Now, Leicester, of course, were one of English football's greatest ever stories. 10 years ago, they won the Premier League. 5 years ago, they won the FA Cup, but they were relegated last season. And after a 6-point deduction for breaking financial rules, which they are appealing, they're in the Championship relegation zone now. So, Leicester have reached the highest highs, but at the moment, they look like they could be a club that's on the way down. By the end of tonight, we might have a better idea whether Middlesbrough are a club on the way up.
Simon at the Riverside, thank you very much indeed. Busy night of football ahead. And we are sticking with sports. Following the end of the Winter Olympics, all eyes now turn to the Winter Paralympic Games.
And 2 wheelchair curlers from Newcastle are not only preparing to make their Paralympic debuts in Italy, but make history too.
Jason Keane and Stuart Pimblett are 2 of 5 English curlers in the men's GB team, which is usually made up entirely of Scottish curlers. Chris Conway caught up with them.
They are a dynamic duo made in Newcastle, but it's the Winter Paralympics in Italy where these wheelchair curlers are determined to deliver success for Great Britain.
The place on the podium is where I want to be 100%, and I want to be on that top step, to be honest.
Can I just say I've been to Cortina before? I went there for a skiing holiday, had a great time, lovely place, but that was a holiday. I'm not going to Cortina for a holiday.
Jason is heading to the games just 5 years after a serious motorbike accident meant he'd never walk again. He was introduced to curling by Stuart, the pair eventually competing together at the World Championships last year.
Playing in that World Championships with the best wheelchair curlers that there is in the world, that was a moment for me where it was like, actually, I am Jason Keane, wheelchair curler. I'm not just Jason Keane out for a laugh with me mates anymore. And that's when it was like, right, let's get down to business.
Fighting talk, but what else would you expect from history makers? Usually GB squads are stocked with Scottish curlers, but for the first time, Jason and Stuart are part of a group of 5 English curlers set to take to the ice at the Paralympic Games.
Well, it's a Scottish national sport, isn't it? It's completely different to have English members going out to the Paralympic Games to represent Great Britain. And it's never been done before.
Yeah, it is a pinch moment, but I don't really feel it's settled in, sunk in, to be honest. But yeah, I am excited deep down.
We've travelled to Edinburgh to speak to Jason and Stuart, where they're going through final preparations. If our Paralympic athletes are going to taste medal success at these Winter Games, well, they certainly need to look the part. This huge hall is a one-stop clothes shop, kitting them out with everything from pants to jackets and even snow boots.
It's a little bit harder for us than the able-bodied because they sweep, we don't sweep. So when we deliver that stone, each stone's 3 stones, 2 pound in weight, it's on ice, and it's like glass, the ice, so it travels, and it's 100 feet from when it releases from our cues to the centre of the target. So that's the challenge.
A challenge the pair are ready to tackle head-on, even more so after watching their curling colleagues perform so well on the Olympic stage.
Seeing it on the TV and knowing that I'm going there, it is one of them pinch yourself moments going, I will be playing on that ice, in that arena, where they're playing, and it's going to be mint.
I'm over the moon. I've waited a long time to get to a Paralympics, so I'm really, really excited about it, and, you know, I want to show the world what I can do.
It's a friendship formed on the ice. Jason and Stuart hope they can help each other win gold in the biggest competition of their lives. Chris Conway, ITV News.
Yeah, we wish Stuart and Jason all the very best of luck. Now, it is an absolute classic, the story of Matilda. Roald Dahl's book has gone on to become a film and also a musical.
The theatre show is currently at the Sunderland Empire as part of its UK tour. And while it's in town, members of the cast have been going into local schools to do workshops, which included reading short stories that some of the children have written. Madeleine Leatherby went to join them.
From the West End to Wearside, this is a class these children at Diamond Hall Junior Academy won't forget anytime soon. A workshop with the actor who plays Mrs. Wormwood, reading some of their stories based on Matilda the musical.
Miss Trunchbull stares in the direction of all the children, shouting at the top of her lungs, "Who in God's green earth has done this to me?"
I feel like it was just a really fun experience, and I can't believe that I was picked out, so I'm so grateful for it. It was really special.
I think probably the acting, because we can have experience of just in case any of us wanted to be an actor when we were older.
What did you like the most about today's session?
All the stories get read.
6 schools across Wearside have been selected to take part in these workshops, which are part of a programme run by the Royal Shakespeare Company with Sunderland Empire. The aim is to engage those in areas traditionally underserved by arts and culture.
So it's just so important that we can ensure that all people, no matter where in the country they're from, where in the world, have access to a real arts-rich education.
Teachers say it's amazing to see how the children respond to activities in the programme and that their work is benefiting too.
This is not something our students may have come across before or done before, so taking them to the theatre was something that was new for them, and a lot of our children actually felt quite emotional after that experience. The children have absolutely loved it. We've done a lot of drama workshops and shown them how drama can influence the way that they're writing and the creative writing, to use much better vocabulary, ambitious vocabulary and things like that.
Matilda's on at the Sunderland Empire until the end of the month, and you might just see some hints of the Diamond Hall students in their performances.
You really see the love through their eyes again, and it reignites something for you. And also they might pick up on things and you go, "Oh, I'd never thought of that." And then you would take that back to the theatre and put it into the piece. I love the characterisation that they've been doing today, like all the walks and stuff like that. So now I think tonight I always be more observant with what I'm doing character-wise,
Putting pen to paper and watching some of their stories come alive. These lucky children got to experience the magic of theatre firsthand. Madeleine Leatherby, ITV News, Sunderland.
Wonderful, what a fantastic day at school that's been.
Brilliant.
Ross has joined us now for a chat about the weather. I'll leave this bit to the revolting children.
Wow. To be fair, not far off, is it? We have been working on a dance routine. We're a bit tight for time, sadly. The weather's not been too revolting. There's lots of cloud around. The cloud has been lingering recently, actually for days and days it's felt, but we have had those brighter breaks. And even with the cloud cover at the moment, the temperatures feel a bit more spring-like. Yes. That's made a big difference. And we're seeing some clearer skies developing as we head through this evening. But yes, cloud dominating today. Some nice pictures out there. Temperatures getting into double figures. We've got to 13 degrees here in Durham today, 14.4 degrees in North Yorkshire. The average for this time of year as we head into late February is around 7 or 8. So mild air has been with us for a good few days now, giving us that early spring feeling. Temperatures still through the next couple of days as much as 5 degrees above the average, but by the weekend some colder air is on the way. I'll say this will just take us back down to normal where we should be. The weekend also signals the start of meteorological spring, which I also count as good news. And there are some brighter breaks in the forecast, I promise. Let's take a look.
A breezy morning will be followed up with a flurry of fresh delights for lunch. TUI sponsors ITV Tyne Tea's weather.
Some brighter breaks and sunny spells for us today, but of course the cloud's never been too far away, and there is more cloud on the way as we make our way through the next few days. We're well positioned though, although the cloud's rolling with patchy rain. It's coming in from a westerly direction, the higher ground breaking that up. It's far patchier for us. Windy at times though, blustery too, but in all of the temperatures are staying very much on the milder side for at least the next few days. Those winds from that southerly direction. Through tomorrow, bright start to the day for many. The clouds filling in, we're seeing that area of rain move through. The odd heavier pulse on that, it clears through quite quickly. Into Thursday, another dry start for the most part, maybe a scattering of showers, but another area of rain is just waiting here, ready to make its move. And there's another squeeze on the isobars showing it is going to turn windy. For now, we do have some clearer skies as we head through this evening and initially overnight. The breezes from that southerly direction mean even with those clearer skies, our temperatures are holding up. We're looking at overnight lows of around 8 or 9 degrees. That's above the average daytime high for this time of year. So once again, that milder start into tomorrow morning. If you're up first thing, we do get those clearer skies. You can see the cloud is starting to fill in, particularly towards the northern half of the region. North Yorkshire holding on to the best of the brightness until the afternoon. The cloud bringing bits and pieces of patchy rain, nothing too significant here, and even where that cloud is lingering, we're still looking at highs around 13 or 14 degrees. Later Wednesday and into Thursday, so this mess clears its way through. There's some showers again trying to push their way in from the west as we head overnight. A lot of those filtered out by the higher ground. Into Thursday morning, the cloud is thickening, further spells of rain spilling in from the west, but it will be patchy. Friday, look at those brighter breaks, and by the time we get to the weekend, temperatures back down to where they should be at the time of year.
TUI sponsors ITV Tyne Tees weather.
Thank you, Ross. In just a moment, it's the national and international news.
I'll be back with an update for you at 10:30 tonight. But from all the team, thank you very much indeed for watching. Have a great evening. We'll see you later. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.